Basavaraddi, BA and BCom, Degree College, Sabginagar, Dharwad. Myself, Shweta. I am handling the BCom 5th Sem Income Tax and Law and Practice 1 subject. Let us start with the introduction. Before going to the introduction, I will likely to inform the syllabus regarding the income tax and law and practice subject. There are 5 chapters. First one is introduction to tax, introduction to income tax. Second one, residential status and tax liability. Residential status and tax liability. Next, income from salary, income from house property. Last one is a income from business or profession. Last one, income from business or profession. Now we will start with the introduction of tax. What do you mean by tax? What do you mean by income tax? ತೆರಿಗೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೌದಾ? ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ತೆರಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು? ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಆದಾಯದ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ತೆರಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ಕಟ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ತೆರಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು? Income tax is a tax of a central government which is collected from the person on their own income. ನಮ್ಮ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. For this purpose, the central government has passed a separated act, that is Income Tax Act 1961. India was ruled by the British for more than 4 centuries. India demanded freedom. For this purpose, the India started a strong freedom movement in 1857. This event is called as a British as a soldier unity. The preamble of the Constitution contains the concept of welfare state to carry on the activities of the welfare state. The government of India needs the public to the revenue to spend that money for the public welfare in the form of a public expenditure. The taxes so collected by the government from the pool of resources to be used of the collective benefit. In order to surface this freedom movement, British incurred a huge expenditure in the form of military. Hence, to make up for the losses incurred for the first time of British imposed income tax in India in the year 1860 by Sir James Wilson. Thereafter, various amendments were made in it a form of time to time. At last, in 1886, a separate income tax was passed due to several amendments made in this act. It was repeated or repealed by passing the income tax in 1918. 1918 ಆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. It was replaced by another new act within the past in 1922. This act is renamed in force up to the assessment year 1961 to 62 within the various amendments. As per the recommendation of the Direct Taxes Administrative Committee's new Income Tax Act passed in 1961. The new Income Tax Act came into force with the effect from 1st April 1962 and is now applicable to the tax whole India. It is not a static. Income tax was amended every year in the annual budget. Budget ಒಳಗ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ? ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನ ಅಮೆಂಡ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ನಾವು ಬಜೆಟ್ ಮಂಡನೆ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರೊಳಗ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿ. The taxes so collected by the government from the pool of resources to be used of the collective benefit of the public. The formation structure or taxation structure of the country can be can play a very important role in the working of our economy. Working of our economy, income tax plays a very important role as a source of a revenue and a measure and remove of economic inequalities. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸನ್ನ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಾವು ರೋಡ್ ಮಾಡಿಸೋದು, ಲೈಟ್ ಬಿಲ್, ಹೌದಾ, ಕರೆಂಟಿಂದ ಏನೋ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ನಾವು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಹೌದಾ, ಅದ್ರ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಏನು ತೆರಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅದು ನಾವು ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನಾವು ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್? Meaning of income tax. Let's start. Meaning of income tax. Tax is the price which we pay for a civilized society. Which we pay for a civilized society. It is a compulsory payment to the government without any proportionate return. ನಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸನ್ನ ಪೇಡ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಹೌದಾ. ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ವಿಚ್ ದ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ನಮ್ದು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅದು ಏನು ಟೋಟಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅದ ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟನ್ನು ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಎ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ವಿಚ್ ದ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಪರ್ಸನ್. The tax so collected is used for providing the numerous facilities like water and drainage system, protection against the enemies, developing the infrastructure, etc. Income in simple, tax is a source of a revenue from the government. Tax is a source of a revenue from the government is called as tax. It is the amount paid by the person staying with the territorial limit of a source. Now, what do you mean by income tax? What do you mean by income tax? Income tax is nothing but tax on a income is called as income tax. Tax on a income is called as income tax. Tax on a income is called as income tax. What do you mean by income? Tax on income is called as income tax. ನಮ್ದು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರ, ತೆರಿಗೆಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ? ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಆದಾಯ, ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಮೀನ್ ಬೈ ಇನ್ಕಮ್? Income, it is the monetary benefit received by the assessee. It is the monetary benefit issued by the assessee. Monetary benefit issued by the assessee. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ನಾವು ವರ್ಕನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ, ಹೌದಾ, ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ನಮಗೇನು ಇನ್ಕಮ್, ಹೌದು, ಆ ಇನ್ಕಮಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಆ ಆದಾಯಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ? ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸನ್ನ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ವಾಟ್ ಇಂದ ಅಸೆಸಿ ನೋಡಿ, ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಅದ. ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, income tax, income and assessee. What do you mean by assessee? Assessee is the person who is liable to pay the tax is called as assessee. Assessee is a person who is liable to pay the tax is called as assessee. Now, what do you mean by first the person who is liable to pay the tax is called as assessee. Tax is a word. ಯಾವ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದ? ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್ is derived from the Latin word taxore. It means it estimates the appreciate. Appreciate ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಂದ ಏನು ಬಂದದ? ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು word. Assessee is nothing but the person who is liable to pay the tax is called as assessee. Now, who is liable to pay the tax? ಯಾರು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನಂತ ಕರೆದ್ವಿ? assessee ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಕರೆದ್ವಿ. Who is liable to pay the tax? If a taxable income of a citizen for the previous year exceeds the minimum taxable limit is liable to pay the tax. If a taxable income of a assessee or a citizen for the previous year exceeds the minimum taxable limit is liable to pay the tax is called as is a person liable to pay the tax. Now, what are the types of tax? There are main two types. First one is direct tax, second one is indirect tax. What do you mean by direct tax? Direct tax andre direct tax is a tax is paid by the person on whom it is legally imposed. It is levied on a person who can bear the tax is called as direct tax. Direct taxes are not shifted to others. Now very ಯಾವುದು ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಾವು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Direct taxes are taxes that are directly paid to the government by the taxpayers. ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Next, it charges the person directly by the government. The burden of the taxes cannot be transferred from one person to another person. The tax levied and collected directly from the person who is liable to pay the tax is called as direct tax. For example, direct tax, income tax is the example of a direct tax, and wealth tax is the example of direct tax. Wealth tax as well as income tax. Next, second one, indirect tax. Indirect taxes are applied on the manufacture or sale of a goods and services. The burden of the taxes is transferred from one person to another. When the tax is imposed one person but it is paid by another person is called as indirect tax. When the tax is collected in the first instance from one person to another person, one person who in that terms can pass it on the other partner or other person with he engaged in transaction is called as indirect tax. For example, sales tax. A dealer pays the sales tax. Howda? When he pays the goods for the sale and later he collects it from the customers by adding it to the sales price. For example, ನೋಡಿ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾತ್ ಅನ್ನು ಒಂದು ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿ GST ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ ಅನ್ನು ನಾನು ತಗೊಂಡೆ, ಅದು 5 rupees ಪೆನ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ GST ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ. ಒಂದು ಬುಕ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ GST ಅಂತ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹೌದಾ? ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಮ್ದು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಅವ್ರು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ, ನಾವು ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಇವ್ರಿಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಹೌದಾ? ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಈ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಕಸ್ಟಮರ್ ಏನೋ ಸೆಲ್ಲರ್ ಏನಿರ್ತಾರ ಅವ್ರು ಫಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ? ಅಮೌಂಟನ್ನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅವರು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸನ್ನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ನಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಅಷ್ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ನ ಅವರು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? Direct tax are applied on the manufacture or sale of goods and services. The burden of the taxes is transferred from one person to another person. When the tax is imposed on one person but it is paid by another person, it is called as indirect tax. Direct tax and indirect tax. Direct tax is example of income tax and wealth tax. Income tax and wealth tax. Indirect tax is example of ಯಾವ್ದು ಹೇಳಿ? ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಗೆ Example, sales tax, sales and manufactured goods. Direct ಮತ್ತು indirect tax ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ Administrative of Income Tax Act. The Income Tax Department also referred to as Income Tax Department. It is a government agency in charge of monitoring the income tax collection of the government of India. Income tax it functions under the Department of Revenue of the Ministry of Finance. Revenue of the Minister of Finance. The following are the income tax authorities. Name 2 marks ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. What are the income tax authority? Last 2020 question paper ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಏನು ನಡೀತು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಅದರೊಳಗೆ 2 marks ಒಂದು ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಈ ಯಾವ ಅಥಾರಿಟೀಸ್ ಬರ್ತದ? ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ administrative important income tax officers income tax officers. Next tax recovery. Next one tax recovery. Next inspectors. Next one joint directors of income tax, joint commissioner of income tax, directors general of income tax act or chief commissioner of income tax, the central base of a direct tax. ಇವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರ. ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೋತೀರಿ ಇವ್ 4 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ heads of a income. What are the heads? Comes under income tax. There are 5 heads. First one is income from salary, income from house property, income from other source, income from business or profession. Next capital gain. ಇವಿಷ್ಟು heads ಎದ್ರಾಗ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಹೇಳಿ. Heads of a income. Income from other source, capital gain. Under the Income Tax Act 1961, under section 14 of the income of a person is calculated under the various different heads of income. The income tax is first assessed under the heads of income and then it is charged for the income tax as under the rules of Income Tax Act. According to the under section 14 of the Income Tax Act 1961, according to under section 14 of the Income Tax Act 1961, there are the following heads of income under which the total income of a person is calculated or computed. First one is the income from salary. Second one, income from house property. Next, capital gain. Next one, income from business or profession. Last one, income from other source. Last one, income from other source. 1, 2. Next, third chapter, income from salary, income from house property, income from business or profession. ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಈಗ ಇಯರ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಸೆಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನೀವು ಕಲಿತೀರಿ. I hope you will understand the meaning, introduction of tax, meaning of income tax, administrative of income tax act, as well as heads of a income, who is liable to pay the tax, what you mean by income, what you mean by assessing. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೈತೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀನಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ we will discuss about the what are the important definitions of income tax, what are who is who is the person, who is the assessee, assessment year, financial year, previous year. Next class ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಹ್ಯಾವ್